Hello, and welcome to Spiritual Cuisine on Cam. I'm your host, Dr. Assata Haki. I come with peace, love, and light. Today, I will be speaking on or touching on Black lives. I first would like to send out my love and comfort to those families who have lost the Black men whose lives were taken over the last week, and of course, just throughout the beginning of the year. And I also would like to point out that it is sad to say, but at the same time, Black lives being taken by white lives is not new. What's new is our reaction to it, only because we have forgotten that Black people have always been the target, have always been the ones who have been thought of as being less than human. But how can any group of people, ethnic group, anyone who has flesh and blood be less than human? That makes no sense. But we don't click into the common sense of it. We click into the media sense of it and we believe it and we go forward. What we do not understand is that we may be in this world, but we're really not of this world. And until your consciousness rises to that knowledge, then you will continue to live from the lower level of humanity, which is where the darkness roams. And you will be sucked in and be turned away from the truth of the matter. And so I would like to say that falling for the banana in the tailpipe can also be referred to as the traps, falling for the traps of darkness. And I will take you to Ephesians 6 and 11 through 12. Put on the whole armor of God, that ye may be able to stand against the wiles of the devil. For we wrestle not against flesh and blood, but against principalities, against powers, against the rulers of the darkness of this world, against spiritual wickedness in high places. I will repeat that again. This is Ephesians 6 and 12. For we wrestle not against flesh and blood, but against principalities, against powers, against the rulers of the darkness of this world, against spiritual wickedness in high places. So I say that to say that we still have darkness that roam, that is unseen, and it uses the minds that have not yet opened itself up to a higher consciousness. And when you open your mind to a higher consciousness, you're opening your mind to more God, to more divine intelligence, to more divine power, to more divine understanding, which brings about divine wisdom. The one thing that I always remember in my walk as a Black woman is that I look around and Black lives are hated by all ethnic groups. All ethnic group, there's people in each ethnic group that are not in the Black ethnic group that just hate Black people. That is not new. It has always been. But what our ancestors did was not allow it to keep them and to stop them from getting what they were here to get. And one thing that we learned that our ancestors did not allow to stop them was slavery. Some stayed, but there were some who escaped because they were determined to be free. They knew that they were children of God, that they were not animals, that they were not less than, that they had a purpose or they wouldn't have been born. And so what they did was they pressed past and they fought, they died, they bled in order for us to have the privileges and the freedoms that we have. And what we have done collectively as a Black people is we have forgotten that. We look at it as history in the past. Now we can leave the past that is goodness, that is leading us to our greatness. We can leave that in the past, but we can't leave the past behind us that has caused us hurt and pain. We can't leave the past behind us that has caused us to become grown and to step off into a different path that is not of righteousness for your soul, for your mind, for your heart. So those are the things that are haunting us. So the spiritual wickedness that creeps up upon the earth and is on our backs like monkeys. Those are the true monkeys. The ones that are on our back are leading us, using our weaknesses, using our depression, using our anger, using our negative attitudes, using our unclean hearts to just wreak havoc upon the earth and to wreak havoc upon ourselves. So when it comes to cultural responsibility, we have neglected that. And so it is no different when you are neglecting your spirituality. There is consequences. There are consequences to the actions and non-actions. It works both ways. So if you're not giving honor to the spirit that wakes you, then you're not grateful. You're not appreciative. And then therefore you're not open to even more of what God's grace and favor can bring unto you. And if you're not honoring God, then you're not honoring the ancestors who made it possible for us to have education, be able to work in the same workplace as other ethnic groups that allowed us to have a place in America and everywhere else. Some places they still don't allow blacks places. But here in America, our ancestors, they fought so that we could have these freedoms, we could have these privileges. And all we do is we toss them to the trash as if they're nothing. So it's unfortunate what is going on with Black lives being taken by the evils that are in white cops or in white people, period. But evil lurks everywhere and is in the heart of any man that is open to receive it. And so it is our responsibility to become aware of what is going on instead of becoming victims of what is going on. So when you honor your ancestors and you honor God, you are saying, I am appreciative for having life and still being upon this earth to make a difference for not just myself, but also for my community. We have let our community down. Our Black men, the things that I have seen have been Black men who have been beating their women, Black men who kill other Black men who kill Black women because the Black woman don't want them because they found out that the Black man really doesn't want anything and he just wants to have this control because he's man, but not understanding what man really means. So he has neglected his children. Some don't take care of them. They see them and they still don't love on them, or some just conceive and move on. So you have dishonored your ancestors as a Black man. Our Black women, we have dishonored our ancestors as a Black woman. How so? We have forgotten to first love ourselves. And then we love our children. We don't spoil our children. We love our children. We love them into who they are. Love them into who God created them to be. And that is what raises them. We raise them from the soul that God has placed in them to be in order for them to be able to make a change and make a difference in our Black communities. But what we do is we are so lost outside of ourselves. We are so busy loving the Black man who we claim ain't ish, but we allow him to continue to treat us like we are not ish. Meaning we claim, oh, men don't do this, men don't want to do that, but yet these are the men that we're accepted into our lives because we feel we can't be alone. We just got to have somebody because we don't want to feel lonely. We don't want to be alone. So we accept the ish that they bring to us. We're not strengthening them. We are really just enabling them to be the men that they're supposed to be. When we allow them to come and move into our homes, knowing that they are not trying to work, they have no kind of outline of their life as to where they're going in order to make a difference in their own lives, to make a better life for themselves. We see these things. So how can we actually allow ourselves to turn a blind eye and believe that they're going to make a difference in our lives No, they come in and they destroy our lives because we feel we have to have them. We're so busy accepting their lies. We're accepting everything that they do. The cheating. We're accepting the fact that they put their hands on us, and we accept their apologies, and we call it love because their excuse is, I love you. And I just get so angry when you do this or when you say that or if you have this on or if you're talking to so and so. Those things are signs of craziness and control. That's not love. But because we don't love ourselves, we accept that kind of love. So, as Black women, we have let down our Black women ancestors. We are strong. We are givers of life. We are power. Our men are power. But the Black man have given his power over to the oppressors. The ones that say, yes, we have this system set up so if they do one thing wrong, they go to jail and we got them. Because what they do is once they get you in the system, then they screw up your name. Then you cannot go out and you cannot get a job. People are looking at you different because it's marked, oh, criminal. So you allow yourselves to fall for the banana in the tailpipe and be uh, enslaved by the oppressors. And now you can't do anything because you don't want to go out and get your own education. You don't want to go out and get your own job. You want to go out, you want to sell drugs. You want to go out, you want to kill, rob, and steal from other people. But still, God is watching. So you're going to get caught. So you're going to end up in the oppressor's trap. You should know that. It's not just about education in the paper. It's just about educating yourself, educating your soul on what's in your soul so that you can blossom, so that you can take your gifts, your talents with the education and be able to make a difference in your family lives and in your community. But we don't do that anymore. When we do education for self to get on top so that we can be like the Joneses. We want to keep up with the Joneses. We have removed our consciousness from our own true image and decided, we have chosen to pick up other images. And that's where we are lost in the wilderness. It is not about just being Black, but it is a responsibility being Black. Just like it's a responsibility for being born. We're all born of flesh and blood. We're all born of the same breath. That breath is life. That life is God. And so all of us have a purpose, sole purpose, here on earth as it is in heaven. But Black lives will matter to when all Black lives matter to all Black lives. I will say that again. Black lives will matter when all Black lives matter to all Black lives. Black men, take a stand and stop beating your women. Stop molesting your children. Stop abandoning your children. Black women, stop following behind men who are not ready for the Black woman, not ready for your strength, not ready for your support and for your love. They claim that we don't support them, but we do. We support them more than we support ourselves. We love them more than we love ourselves. Because when we're accepting all of these abuses, whether it's verbal abuse, emotional abuse, mental abuse, physical abuse, we are accepting that when they're still in our homes, when they're still in our lives. We don't have the strength to help them stand. So you need to be alone and find yourself, learn yourself, and then love yourself. And then you can be a pillar of strength for the Black man. And then our children will no longer be lost. They're lost in the wilderness too. They're waiting on us to get our ish together. So when you wonder what's going on, well, why Black lives are being taken, is because the ancestors, the divinity, wrath is upon us. And until we waken up and stand up within ourselves, within our families, within our communities, Black lives will continue to be taken. This may sound raw, you may not like it, but truth is truth. Until we carry out our spiritual responsibilities, our ancestral responsibilities, we will continue to reap what we sow. And what we're sowing is death to the Black community. I love you as I love God and as God loves you. We're all here for a reason. In Black lives, we have ancestral responsibilities. Pray, meditate, and start walking the path to your greatness, or else continue to reap the wrath of our ancestors. And so I leave you with the peace that I have come with, and may love and light always be upon you. As God is with you, so is our ancestors. I'll see you on Black Lives Matter, Spiritual Cuisine on CAM. Namaste.